We're talking with David Toscano, as the Democratic leader in the Virginia House of Delegates, represents the 57th District of Charlottesville and Albemarle. David, what is the state of the Democratic Party in the Commonwealth of Virginia, given that President Obama won the election now for the second election in a row? Are Republicans feeling nervous? Is that why they're taking some of these dramatic steps at redistricting?
I think Republicans are very nervous. They're seeing that Virginia's demographics are changing pretty dramatically. We've got a younger electorate. We have a much more diverse electorate. A lot of ethnic groups that are actively participating in the process: Asian Americans, Latino Americans, and of course the strong African American vote that's been in the Commonwealth for a long time. And so Obama won in 2008. Obama won in 2012. Our challenge as Democrats is that, the turnout falls off once you get into the gubernatorial year, which is next year in Virginia, where everybody will be watching very carefully. And we need to capture the voters who came out in the federal elections and ask them to participate in the state elections so we can really try to change the state in a much more positive direction.
And what is the driving issue, you think, in this next round of elections?
Well, I think it's always the economy and things related to it, like education and transportation. In Virginia, we've been working on a transportation plan ever since I came to the legislature, which was 8 years ago, and we can't seem to find one. And the reason for that, I think, is that you have a majority of Republicans in the House who have taken the so-called no tax increase pledge that Grover Norquist has placed upon them, even though he doesn't even live in Virginia. And as a result, they can't raise the revenue, or they can't agree to raise the revenue that's necessary to fix our roads and make sure that we can maintain our competitiveness as a state. So I think you're going to see economics be one of the issues in the next election, along with education and transportation.
I want to throw you a political question, and we're talking with David Toscano, the Democratic leader of the Virginia House of Delegates. There's a fascinating gubernatorial race coming up in the Commonwealth of Virginia. Terry McAuliffe, who was a close friend of the Clintons, was once the top, was in charge of the Democratic National Committee against Bob Cuccinelli. How does that governor's race go, as you see it?
Well, this is going to be the governor's race to end all governor's races. In New Jersey, it looks like Chris Christie has got a pretty good lead in that state. But in Virginia, it's up in the air. And, of course, Virginia has become much more of a contested state over the last decade. And McAuliffe and Cuccinelli are going to have, they present stark contrasts. McAuliffe is very energetic. His ability to raise money is legendary. His ties to the Clintons. He's lived in Virginia, I think, over 25 years now, but he's viewed as a national Democrat, and there are going to be a lot of people interested in him. On the other side, Cuccinelli is about as conservative as anybody could get. He's the darling of the Tea Party. He has attacked federal initiatives on everything from climate change to gun control, and he's a national figure on the conservative stage. And there's going to be a lot of money put into this race, and he is very smart and very determined. So it's going to be a very interesting race. I hope Democrats can prevail because if Cuccinelli gets elected, there are a lot of things that can happen to the state that I think a lot of people in the Commonwealth would not like.
Well, tell us about some of those things. I mean, what would go on in both the House of Delegates and the Senate if, again, you have another Republican governor?
Well, I think it's going to be more of the same. You remember, he has filed I don't know how many separate lawsuits against the EPA. He has supported all of the very intrusive anti-women legislation, such as the controversial ultrasound legislation that was passed in Virginia last year. He's been a proponent of efforts to really suppress the vote. In Virginia last year, there was pressure to prevent more people from voting by requiring to provide IDs at the polls. It made it very difficult for them. There's a new bill that is now before us this year that will require every Virginia voter to have a photo ID to combat so-called fraud, which all studies indicate really doesn't exist at the ballot box. And you're going to see a whole wide range of conservative initiatives. and you won't see any efforts to raise money to fix some of the problems we have in the state, whether it's in education or in transportation. So it'll be a very conservative legislative agenda if Attorney General Cuccinelli gets elected.
Finally, David, I got to ask you, we encourage people to take action through various widgets that can contact on our website members of Congress and sort of at the national level. What is the best way, though, on a state level like in Virginia, to influence members of either the Virginia Senate or the House of Delegates? Is it direct contact? Is it email? What's the best way people can make their voices heard?
Well, it's always, but emails. There are petitions now out there protesting these kinds of raw power grabs, such as redistricting, that get sent to the governor. You go on the legislative website, you can get all of these people's names and emails and send them a note saying that we're outraged at what's happening in Virginia and we don't like what's happening around the country. Remember, Virginia is only one piece in a large puzzle. And I think Republicans around the country have this playbook, and they're now trying to play it out and change the legislature. Let the legislature change these rules to make them easier for Republicans to get elected in upcoming elections.
David Toscano, the Democratic leader in the Virginia House of Delegates. David, thanks so much for being part of the program today. We appreciate it.
It was a pleasure. Thank you.
You're very welcome. David Toscano, Democratic leader.